It's easy to assume that once someone becomes wealthy, they buy everything they want. After all, what's stopping them? They have the money. But that assumption couldn't be further from the truth. Real wealth changes how people see value. In fact, the wealthiest people often stop buying certain things. Not because they can't afford them, but because they've learned they're simply not worth it. So today we're going to look at exactly what the wealthy avoid spending money on. Even though they easily could, you might be surprised because sometimes the clearest sign of wealth isn't what someone owns, but what they've chosen to live without. And if you're serious about building quiet wealth, this video might change the way you see your own spending. Let's begin. Number 1. Constant new upgrades. We live in a world that tells us we constantly need the latest version of everything. Phones, gadgets, even furniture. But most wealthy people don't fall for that. They don't rush to replace things that are still working fine. That new phone that just came out, they're still using the one from 2 years ago because it does everything they need. The goal isn't to chase trends. It's to use what works until it genuinely needs replacing. They buy for function, not for flash, and they save thousands simply by not playing the upgrade game. Number 2. Cheap, disposable items. Ironically, while some people try to save money by buying the cheapest option, the wealthy often avoid low-quality items altogether. They'd rather spend more once than spend a little many times. A poorly made appliance might be cheaper now, but replacing it 3 times over 5 years is far more expensive in the long run. Wealthy people don't look at price tags in isolation. They look at value over time. If something's going to break or wear out quickly, they don't buy it. They know quality saves money in the long term. Number 3. Trendy decor. You won't often find a wealthy person constantly redecorating to match the latest trends. That's not because they can't afford it, but because they know trends come and go. Instead, they stick to classic, timeless choices that don't go out of style. A calm space, a functional layout, and items that last, these matter more than what's currently popular. They're not trying to impress visitors or go viral for their interiors. They're building a comfortable space that feels like them. That doesn't require constant reinvention. Number 4. Overpriced branding. A product being expensive doesn't always mean it's better. And the wealthy know that. They've learned to separate marketing from real value. Just because something has a famous logo doesn't mean it's worth the price tag. Often, they'll choose a lesser-known brand with equal or better quality. Why? Because they're not buying to signal status. They're buying to solve a problem. And if a simple no-name product works just as well, that's the smarter choice. They don't let branding cloud their judgment. That's how they keep their money. Number 5. Extended warranties and unnecessary insurance. When you buy a new item, you're often pushed to add a warranty or an insurance plan. And while these might make sense in a few cases, the wealthy usually skip them. They'd rather self-insure, meaning they set aside their own money for repairs or emergencies instead of paying a company to do it for them. It saves money over time, especially when most of those add-on plans are rarely used. They've done the math, and they know the odds. They protect themselves, but they don't overpay for peace of mind that may never be needed. Number 6. Impulse purchases. Being rich doesn't mean being reckless. In fact, it's often the opposite. Wealthy people are intentional with their spending. They don't walk into stores and grab whatever catches their eye. They plan, they research, they wait. Even small purchases get second thoughts. Because the habit of discipline never goes away. It's part of what helped them get rich in the first place. So, if you see someone who always buys on impulse, chances are they're not wealthy, just trying to look like they are. Number 7. Excessive subscriptions. From streaming platforms to monthly product boxes, subscriptions have become a quiet drain on modern wallets. Wealthy people keep an eye on this. They know that convenience can slowly eat away at savings without you realizing it. They only pay for what they actually use. And they review those expenses regularly. Just because something is $9.99 a month doesn't mean it's harmless. Multiplied across several services, it adds up fast. And the rich don't like silent leaks in their finances. Number 8. One-use tools and gadgets. There's a gadget for everything these days. A tool that peels avocados, cuts pizza, or folds your laundry for you. But the wealthy don't fill their spaces with tools that only serve one small purpose. They value simplicity. They prefer versatile tools that do multiple jobs, not because they can't afford to try new things, but because they don't want clutter, financial or physical. Every item they own has to justify its place. If it's not useful or durable, it's not worth the money. Number 9. Show-off purchases. You know the kind, items people buy just to impress others. A fancy bottle of wine for a dinner they don't even care about. Like a designer bag they'll only use once. The wealthy don't need to perform for anyone. In fact, many of them avoid anything that screams, "Look at me." They've learned that the loudest spender is usually the one trying the hardest to look rich. Real wealth doesn't need approval. It just needs purpose. So if something is bought just for status, they're likely skipping it. Number 10, things that create dependency. This one's subtle but powerful. Wealthy people avoid buying things that lock them into long-term cost without long-term value. Think of fancy coffee machines that need expensive pods, printers that only work with branded ink, tools that require frequent upgrades. They avoid systems designed to keep them spending forever. Instead, they look for freedom, tools that are open, flexible, and give them control, because freedom, not just wealth, is the real goal. Number 11. Fast fashion and excessive wardrobes. They don't chase every new outfit or buy dozens of variations of the same item. Wealthy people often have smaller, more thoughtful wardrobes. Neutral colors, comfortable fits, durable fabrics. They wear things over and over, not because they have to, but because they want to. The clothes aren't about attention. They're about ease. This reduces decision fatigue, saves time, and avoids waste. It's not about dressing poor, it's about dressing smart. Number 12. Things to fill emotional gaps. One of the biggest traps in modern life is emotional spending. Buying something because you're bored, stressed, or insecure. The wealthy understand this pattern and work hard to avoid it. They don't shop to feel better. They deal with the feeling first, not the symptom. They've learned that no item can fix loneliness or boost confidence in a lasting way. So they spend their money on stability, not distractions. Because buying things to feel better usually leaves you with less money and the same feeling. Number 13. Debt-fueled rewards. Some people treat themselves to big purchases after a tough week or a minor win, often using credit cards. Wealthy people don't reward themselves in ways that hurt their net worth. They don't swipe their way into debt to feel good for a few minutes. If they want something, they buy it with money they already have, after checking that it won't disrupt their long-term plans. Their idea of a reward? Peace, stability, the ability to breathe easily at night. That's what wealth is for. Being wealthy doesn't mean spending more. In fact, the wealthiest people often spend less, especially on the things that don't truly matter. They avoid waste, they avoid short-lived trends, and they avoid anything that slowly pulls money out of their wallets without giving real value in return. It's not about being cheap, it's about being clear. Every dollar has a purpose. And here's the real takeaway. You don't have to be rich to start thinking like the wealthy. You don't need millions to make better choices. You just need to pause. Ask yourself if what you're about to buy actually improves your life or just adds more noise. When you learn to say no to things that drain your time, energy, and money, you leave more room for what matters. It's not a race. It's not a performance. It's a quiet path built on small changes, better habits, and fewer regrets. That's how real wealth is built. Patiently, quietly, and on your own terms. And the best part? You can start that journey today, exactly where you are.